I'm 76 years old, and I've been wearing the same sweatpants and t-shirt for 5 days straight. Not because I'm depressed or given up on myself. Because getting dressed, really dressed, has become so exhausting that I can't face it anymore. This morning I stood in front of my closet looking at my clothes, the shirts with buttons, the pants with zippers, the shoes with laces, and I felt this wave of defeat wash over me. I closed the closet door and pulled on the same sweatpants I've been living in. And somewhere deep inside, a voice said, "This is how it starts. This is how you lose yourself, one piece of clothing at a time. It didn't begin like this. 6 months ago I was still dressing properly every day. Shirt and trousers, real shoes. I'd shower and shave and put myself together like I'd done for 60 years. Because that's what you do. That's what being a functional adult looks like. But somewhere along the way, getting dressed stopped being automatic and started being a chore, then a challenge. Then something I dreaded so much I'd avoid it entirely. The problems started small. They always do, don't they? My shoulders got stiff. Reaching behind to tuck in a shirt hurt. So I stopped tucking in my shirts. Then buttons became difficult. My fingers wouldn't grip them properly, wouldn't push them through the holes. I'd stand there fumbling with a button for 2 minutes, getting frustrated, eventually giving up and choosing a different shirt. Then zippers started sticking. Belt buckles became impossible to fasten. Shoelaces took forever to tie, and my back ached from bending over. I live alone. I've lived alone for 8 years now, since my wife died. And living alone after 75 means there's no one there to help you with a stuck zipper. No one to button the back of something. No one to tie your shoes when bending over makes you dizzy. You're on your own with every small difficulty, and when those difficulties add up, you start making compromises. You start choosing the easier path. And once you start, it's hard to stop. Have you noticed this happening to you, too? The slow slide from dressing properly to just wearing whatever's easiest. I started buying different clothes. Elastic waist pants instead of ones with buttons and zippers. Pullover shirts instead of button-downs. Slip-on shoes instead of laces. I told myself I was being practical. Choosing comfort. Adapting to my limitations. But really, I was giving up. I was letting my wardrobe shrink to only the things I could manage alone, and that list was getting shorter every month. My daughter noticed when she came to visit, I was wearing sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt at 2 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. She didn't say anything at first, but I saw her looking at me. Really looking. Seeing the stain on my shirt I hadn't bothered to change out of. Seeing that I was wearing slippers, not shoes. Seeing her father, who used to take pride in his appearance, slowly becoming someone else. Someone who'd given up. She asked if I was feeling okay, if something was wrong. And I got defensive. Told her I was just relaxing. Told her these clothes were comfortable. Told her to stop worrying. But she kept looking at me with this sadness in her eyes, and I knew what she was thinking. She was thinking about elderly living alone, about losing independence, about the slow decline that starts with small things like this and ends with nursing homes. When was the last time getting dressed felt easy? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and felt like yourself instead of like someone wearing a costume of comfortable clothes? The worst part was that I stopped going out. Because I couldn't wear sweatpants to the grocery store. Couldn't wear them to church or to lunch with old friends. But getting dressed properly, in real pants and a real shirt and real shoes, took so much effort that I'd rather just stay home. So that's what I did. I stayed home, day after day, wearing the same comfortable prison of elastic and cotton, watching my world shrink because I couldn't manage buttons anymore. I stopped seeing friends. They'd call and ask me to meet for coffee, and I'd make excuses. Too tired, not feeling well. Maybe next week. But the real reason was I didn't want them to see me like this. Didn't want them to see how far I'd let myself slide. Didn't want to face the effort of getting dressed like a normal person just for an hour at a coffee shop. My hygiene started slipping too. Not terribly, not in an obvious way. But I'd skip shaving because reaching up to my face with the razor made my shoulders hurt. I'd go an extra day without showering because getting undressed and redressed was too much work. I'd wear the same underwear 2 days in a row because bending over to pull on fresh ones exhausted me. Small compromises that added up to something bigger. Something that felt like losing myself. Do you know what it's like to look at your own clothes and feel defeated? To see shirts you used to love hanging in the closet, unworn for months, because you can't manage them anymore? My son came over one Sunday afternoon without calling first. I answered the door in my sweatpants, unshaven, wearing a shirt with a coffee stain down the front. He looked shocked. Actually shocked. Like he was seeing a stranger instead of his father. He asked if he could come in, and we sat at my kitchen table, and he said, very gently, that he was worried about me. That I didn't look like myself. That maybe I needed help. And I wanted to tell him I was fine. I wanted to insist that I was just comfortable, just relaxed, just living my life the way I wanted. But sitting there across from him, seeing my reflection in his worried eyes, I couldn't lie anymore. I wasn't fine. I was slowly disappearing inside these shapeless clothes. I was losing the person I used to be, because getting dressed properly had become too hard and I was too proud to ask for help. He asked when I'd last worn real clothes. I couldn't remember. Weeks, maybe. He asked if I was going out at all. I said no. He asked if I'd been eating properly, taking care of myself, staying connected with friends. And I had to admit I wasn't. That living alone after 75, without anyone to see me, without anyone to hold me accountable, I'd just slowly let everything slide. And it all started with the clothes. The clothes were the first domino. Once I gave up on dressing properly, everything else got easier to give up too. Shaving, showering regularly, leaving the house, seeing people, taking care of myself, because if I wasn't even getting dressed, why bother with the rest? Why make the effort? Who would notice? Who would care? My son helped me that afternoon. He went through my closet with me and we got rid of everything I couldn't manage anymore. The button-down shirts, the pants with complicated closures, the shoes with laces. We kept what I could actually wear, and then he took me shopping. We bought more comfortable clothes, but real ones. Decent pants with elastic waists, but that actually looked like pants. Shirts that pulled over, but didn't look like pajamas. Shoes that slipped on, but had structure and support. And then he did something I wasn't expecting. He hired someone to come help me 3 mornings a week. Not a nurse, not someone to do everything for me, just someone to help me get dressed, to be there while I showered so I wasn't afraid of falling, to help with the buttons I couldn't manage, to tie my shoes when my back hurt too much to bend. Someone to make getting ready for the day possible again. It's been a month now. I'm wearing real clothes again. Not every day. Some days I still wear the comfortable things, but most days I get properly dressed. I shave, I look like myself. And the difference it's made isn't just physical, it's mental, it's emotional. Getting dressed properly makes me want to go out, makes me want to see people. Makes me feel like I'm still a person worth caring for. I still can't manage everything alone. I probably never will again. But I'm learning that aging and independence don't mean doing everything yourself. They mean accepting help so you can keep being yourself. They mean adapting without giving up. They mean building support around the things you struggle with so they don't take everything else down with them. If you're wearing the same comfortable clothes day after day because real clothes are too hard. If you're avoiding going out because getting dressed feels impossible. If you're slowly letting yourself disappear because the effort of maintaining yourself is too much, please hear what I'm saying. This is serious. This isn't just about clothes. This is about dignity, about self, about the slow slide toward losing everything that makes you feel like yourself. There's still time to make changes. There's still time to get help, to adapt your wardrobe, to find solutions that let you dress properly without the struggle. But there's not unlimited time. And waiting until you're completely isolated, until you've lost all connection to the person you used to be, that's when recovery becomes almost impossible. So please, be honest with yourself. Look at what you're wearing. When did you last dress like yourself? When did you last leave the house properly dressed? When did comfortable stop being a choice and start being a surrender? Because those are the warning signs. Those are the moments when you need to reach out, ask for help, make changes before everything else falls apart too. If this story resonated with you, if you saw yourself in any part of it, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. Share this video with someone who might be struggling in silence. Leave a comment and tell me what you're dealing with, because I know I'm not alone in this. Hit the like button if you found this honest and real. We need to talk about these things. We need to stop pretending that independence means suffering alone. Sometimes accepting help with the small things is what lets us keep the big things. And that's something I'm learning every single day, one properly dressed morning at a time.